The dragon, Brutus, let out a loud, crackling laugh. His big, noisy laugh was so strong it broke his drinking glass in half. His friend Zeus laughed and said, "Your voice sounds worse than 1,000 squawking seagulls. No wonder why all your friends are deaf like these dumb beetles." All sorts of little critters scurried across the Doom Crew's table. Worms wiggled, beetles danced, and ants hurried over to a leftover, stale bagel. Anger flared among the four seniors as they munched on the bugs with great eagerness. Zeus became their next target. His words were ruthless. "Perhaps we should squash you like one of these dumb bugs." "No need, no need," Zeus said with calm certainty. "You wouldn't be able to catch me, even if you tried, you slugs." Brutus smiled as they got ready to tackle each other. "Bravo! Bravo!" he cheered, pretending to be impressed. "Now that's the anger I'll take. You lazy fighters no longer sound fake." They stared at Brutus, both puzzled and boiling with anger. "Put away your differences," Brutus said. "You want something to crush? Target the king's images." Zeus replied, "But we cannot cause them harm, unless he releases them to undergo our charm." "I know, idiot. That's why we must throw a riot." He grinned. "I know of a perfect day coming, a party we can ruin." "Really? Whose?" they asked, their faces filled with confusion. "Have you deaf beetles already forgotten? We've been preparing all this time to make the girl's heart rotten." They asked, still not sure. "The princess?" "Yes," he yelled, voice full of anger. "The princess." They sank down in their seats, embarrassed. Brutus grinned. "Fear," he said, eyeing the cruel bully with a smile. Fear hesitated before responding, his voice uncertain. "Yes, sir." "Tell me some good news," Brutus continued. "Did you give the princess a good scare? Did she run from the waters like she saw a giant bear?" Fear puffed up his chest, lying proudly. "Oh, yes, sir. It was incredible. I stomped on her joy and tore her confidence apart like it was a toy. She was shaken in fear as my shadow overtook her like the cruelest bear. She ran from the giant lake because I made her think she'd make a big mistake. No more dreams. No more peaceful streams." "Nice." Brutus smiled, impressed. "And what about wisdom? How did you get past her steady guard? Her protective light is always around, trying to get past her. Was it hard?" Fear loudly boasted. "It was extremely difficult, but behind my dark mask and among the secret shadows I patiently hid. And when she wasn't looking, that's when I scared her kid." Fear's co-workers laughed. They didn't believe his story was true. They knew all too well that whenever Fear got scared, he would make up terrible lies. It was nothing new. "And how did wisdom stop your attack?" Despair asked. "Or are you going to claim she didn't even fight back?" He let out a laugh. "You can laugh all you want," Fear said. "You're just jealous, all of you. I just wished you blind guides knew." Despair and his companions burst into even louder laughter. "Jealous of you?" Despair choked out, struggling to contain his amusement. "Come on, Fear. You're making all our eyes tear." Fear shouted, "Elle was the one the boss assigned to bully the princess and attack her in her weakness. Of course, you're jealous that my mission was successfully rebellious." Zeus sneered, rising from his seat in anger. "I see no success, but failure. Just admit you lost, you terrible liar." "Fear," Brutus said slowly, dragging his sharp black claws across the wooden table. "You're not lying to me, are you? I will hate for that to be true." Fear greatly trembled. "No, sir," he said, his voice shaking. "I will never lie to you. Trust me, I was the meanest bear. I gave the princess a great scare. I even made her eyes sorrowfully tear." "Lies!" his co-workers shouted, pounding their fists on the table. "Look at him," Despair said. "He's nervous. My king, take away his title. He's useless." Despair, like a troubled kid, found joy in teasing others, using their hurt to feel better about his own fear of not being the cleverest of robbers. He knew he wasn't that great, and that his wins were just lucky breaks. "I won't," Brutus said firmly. When Fear heard those words, he felt a sudden sense of relief. Maybe the king really believed his silly story. Despair, however, was furious. "What? You actually believe his foolish attempt for glory?" Brutus raised his hand to stop the argument. "Let me finish. I won't, well, not just yet. Fear will again be put to the test because only the most mean and toughest can stay in my nest." Fear grew nervous again. "What kind of test?" Brutus paused for a moment before answering. "I'll make it simple. Steal a lamb's hope, and in its pain, make it cope. If you can stop him from moving forward, you will keep your reward." Despair laughed. "He will miserably fail. He couldn't even scare a snail." Fear covered his nose and teased, "Despair, your voice smells like rotten cheese. Please stop talking, you're making me sneeze. As for this task, it'll be easy and quick, just like a breeze." "You sure sound bold, but shiver like someone who lives in the winter cold," Despair mockingly said. "You won't be able to scare no one, you old toad." Brutus looked at Despair and said, "If you're so sure he will fail, then you will go and help him." Despair choked up, as if he'd swallowed something stale. "What? You can't be serious? I can't work with Fear. His voice is so squeaky, it makes my ears itchy." "I am," Brutus firmly said. "You will work together with Fear and rid the little lamb of any hope, so he'll never be brave and persevere. And if you guys can't accomplish this simple assignment, then you'll both no longer hold the title, Giant." Brutus's voice was sharp, like a fire burning hot. "I will bring you down as low as the rats. No one will be able to save you from the stray cats. Do you understand?" Fear and Despair grumbled. Yes, giving each other mean looks. They loved being known as the sneakiest, most wicked of all the crooks. But deep down, they were just rooks. "Let's just get this over with." Fear left in a swift. Despair slowly followed behind. The idea of working with Fear troubled his mind. They really can't stand each other. I saw Despair's face turning red. Now the tomato looks like his twin brother. Zeus chuckled, thoroughly enjoying the drama unfolding among the Doom crew. "Let's just hope Despair's anger doesn't blow up like a volcano. Otherwise, he'll mess up the assignment like a wild tornado," a crook named Hate said, laughing. While the Doom crew made jokes, Brutus stayed silent, always jotting down notes. "Zeus," he sternly said, "I have an assignment for you as well." Zeus stopped laughing right away. His face was filled with worry. He wondered if the boss was going to give him a really embarrassing task, like Despair and Fear, to make him feel weary. "There's this ancient tree near the West Palm Mountain that's been teaching a whole village how to be wise. No longer are the people believing my lies. Uproot it. Tear it down. Send a fierce thunderous storm. Make that foolish tree conform." Zeus's face lit up in excitement. "Gladly. I will send a storm like no one has ever seen before. It will be so fierce no eagle will be able to soar." "Sounds great. Don't disappoint me," Brutus said strongly. "Yes, sir," Zeus replied, sprinting off as if he had just spotted an amusement park, excited to make the sky stormy and dark. 3 crooks, Hate, Anger, and Pride, remained at the table, praising Brutus for successfully convincing the world to believe in his fable. "May our king forever rise. No doubt you'll defeat the wise," Hate said with a sneaky smile. For ages, you've kept them in the dark. Because of you, hope's rotten people think they're kind, but they lack a spark, anger added. You're the greatest thief of all. You turn the happiest hearts to fall, pride said, bowing low. Brutus was strong and always alert, but he had one weakness: praise from his crew. It made him feel special, like something brand new. Agreed, he smiled, and I'll make sure the world sees my power, so they know I'm the most feared in every hour. The spiritual reality of evil forces attacking humanity is real. Satan and his doom crew want to lead us away from wisdom and make us choose foolish paths that cause us pain. They want us to fall and lose hope, so we give up. They are always working to stop us from moving forward and taking the right steps in life. However, we don't need to be afraid, because just like the lion is the king of the jungle, God is the true king of the world. He sits on Mount Zion, in control of everything. Satan can't hurt anyone without God's permission. And even when we don't realize it, God is fighting for us. He sent wisdom to be with us, showing us the lies of the enemy and helping us choose her wise path that leads to life, a prayer of protection. Dear Father, please protect me from anything bad that might try to hurt me. If I've believed something that isn't true, please help me understand what is right. Thank you for always keeping me safe. Help me not to listen to Satan's lies and take away any selfish thoughts in my heart, so I can show love to others. Give me the strength to keep going, for with your help, I will find the courage to be brave and persevere. Amen.